It's one of Australia's largest takeover bids at a $29 billion value for Santos's shares at $8.89 per share. But then when you add in the debt that Santos is carrying, the total deal value is well above $36 billion. A huge deal. Now, the Abu Dhabi company wants to come in because currently most of its oil and gas assets are concentrated in the region, in its own country. It wants to globally diversify, and taking on existing resources that Santos has in Australia, a very lucrative LNG plant in Papua New Guinea, and oil fields that are being developed in Alaska make it an attractive proposition. Analysts say that the deal really stacks up if the oil price is around $80 a barrel, which is just above current levels, but this is in the long term, and if the Australian dollar is around 70 US cents. So financially, in the long term, it stacks up. For diversification, it stacks up.
So what's standing in the way of the deal then, given that the Santos board has given its support to it going ahead?
Yes, there's several layers of approvals that Abu Dhabi's national oil company will have to go through to get this deal done. First is due diligence. Does it actually want to go ahead? It is now in the process of looking at Santos's books and seeing if there's anything in there it doesn't like that it didn't know about. After it decides that it does want to go ahead with this deal, it will need a raft of regulatory approvals, not only from Australia, but also from the US because of Santos's assets there, and also Papua New Guinea because of the big LNG plant there. Now, in Australia, the biggest stumbling block is the national interest test with the Foreign Investment Review Board, and ultimately that will be a decision for Treasurer Jim Chalmers to make as to whether to allow this deal to go through. And the big concern there is going to be about domestic gas supplies, because Santos has been fingered as one of the companies that's exporting a lot of the East Coast gas overseas and pushing up domestic gas prices through shortages.
So is there any indication as to which way the Treasurer, Jim Chalmers, might go on this?
He was on afternoon briefing yesterday, Ros. He played a very straight bat because, as he pointed out, he is the ultimate decision maker. He said different parties with different interests, such as the South Australian government, which has been very vocal in asserting that there shouldn't be job losses, that Santos should, as has been committed, stay headquartered in South Australia. All of these could be conditions that might be imposed on any takeover approval, and it's worth casting back to 2001. These things are never a done deal. Back then, Treasurer Peter Costello knocked back a $10 billion bid by global energy giant Shell for Woodside, and of course Woodside is still an independent company listed on the ASX.